What the heck is a market study framework? It's a good question, right? What the heck is a market study framework? If you don't know what a market study framework is, you're going to find yourself out of the loop in most of your case interviews. And so today I'm going to walk through why you need to know the market study framework, why it's actually probably the most important and most versatile framework for your case interviews, and also how to get more information on it if you want more deets. The market study framework is the core foundation for revenue-oriented problems inside the case interview. And the market study framework, otherwise known as a business operations framework or a business situation framework, is there to solve revenue problems, primarily problems where a CEO promises a certain amount of revenue growth and you have to achieve it, problems where you're seeing a market share decline, which is always measured on the revenue side of the equation, or problems where you're thinking about entering a new market. It's really important that in these situations, you don't just take an internal look at the company, which is what profitability focuses on. It focuses on how you're going to use your levers to change the dynamics of the internal choice. But here, this is an internal-external combo that's really there to light a fire, to fan the flame, and to set something in motion that isn't happening on the revenue side of the equation. The market study framework includes 5 optional categories. The 5 categories begin with the market itself, which is appropriate. The first thing that you want to understand is the context of the macro market that you're operating in. The second question is a breakdown of competitors. How many are there? What are their relative market shares? And what are some of their strengths that they bring to the market? The third is customers. Understanding who your customers are, where they're purchasing, and how much they're growing is valuable and vital for both consulting and for many other kinds of interviews. The company, which is focused on a fixed cost of operations, is a structure that explains what the company's capabilities are when they're thinking about entering or changing in these markets. And the final piece is the product. I've gone through entire exercises where I look at the market's growing. Look at the competitors, not that strong. Look at the customers, they love us. Look at the company, we have great capabilities. Look at the product, terrible. So the product is kind of a last ditch effort to make sure that out of everything that we're looking at, we have the right product built in the right way to the right specifications with the right people in mind. Now, in general, our guidance is that when you're building a case interview structure, you build it with 4 pieces. And each one of those 4 pieces would align with a single analyst who would be taking one of the work streams and running with it. So if I was using this on the job at Bain or somewhere else, we would not have all 5 of these pieces. We would usually tuck market under either competitors or customers, or we would tuck product under company, or we would tuck 2 pieces of the framework together. So just keep that in mind. Your goal is to make a MECE structure, mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. So you don't want to just exclude one of these pieces, but at the same time, you don't want to make it so long and so arduous and such a kind of extensive process that you would be missing the overall point. In summary, the market study framework is invaluable. Thinking about the external and the internal influences of an operation for any situation that has a revenue component can be incredibly important. And you'll often find this not just as a standalone framework, but also mixed and matched with others. Make sure that before you go too far in your case interview process, you know super clearly how to use this exact framework over and over again. If you have that, then you'll have the baseline for amazing creativity, which we'll talk about in a future episode. Thanks so much for joining.